Welcome Year 4 to your final English home learning slides for the week. And today, even though you might not necessarily see it on this interesting green colour here, trust me, you will on the rest of it, you will see that we are going to be doing a research project today because your what is I can conduct research about Queen Boudica. Some of you may already know a few things or two about this young lady, but we're doing it today so we can learn more about Boudica and her significance, to become more confident and critically independent when it comes to our ability to research and to aid us when we are writing our speeches. Because guess what, Year 4? Next week, you are going to be taking the role of Queen Boudica, but you'll find a bit more about that later on. So, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to find out and recap on some information about Boudica. We're going to think carefully about the types of questions you want answering when you're doing your research. And then we're going to be looking to keep your points concise by making short, sharp bullet points. So that's our what, why, and how. Let's move on to a little bit of background information about Queen Boudica, because we are going to spend today researching the woman we're going to be writing our persuasive speeches for next week. So Boudica was the queen of the Iceni people of Eastern England and led a major uprising against the occupying Roman forces. Boudica was married to, and this can be a tricky one to pronounce, Prasutagus, there we go. Even us teachers have to learn these Roman names. Ruler of the Iceni people of East Anglia. And when he died, the Romans did things to upset Boudica and her tribe. Eventually, this led to her taking on the Romans at the Battle of Waterloo Street, and we'll find out a bit more about that in our history lessons. So, I want you to pause the slides in a moment, but before we do that, I want you to think about what questions, based on the text that we've just looked at there, on that information we've just provided about Queen Boudica, what sort of questions would you like to ask the Queen of the Iceni tribe? Jot down a few on your piece of paper or on your notepad in front of you, and we'll share a few examples of my own in just a couple of moments. So make sure to pause the video now. Okay, so these are ones that I came up with. The sort of questions that if Queen Boudica was to magically appear in front of me right now, these are the questions that I'd ask her, apart from how did you get here? So I've asked her, why did you want to attack the Romans? How did you feel when the Romans invaded? How did you feel when your husband died? What did the Romans do, sorry? Why did the Romans do, or what will be the one, typo there, what did the Romans do that made you feel so upset? And did you, Finn, I think that becomes a thing. Let's get my pen up there as well. Did you think you would defeat the Romans in battle? Okay, so there are 5 questions that I've come up with myself. I do apologise about a couple of typos on there as well. I imagine a couple of you have already noted them down, but of course it's the content we're looking at. So these are 5 questions that I have come up with myself when I'm thinking about things I might want to ask Queen Boudica, because it all links to your task today. Now you can choose at least 3 of the questions you selected, or if you want to, the example ones on the slides just gone there. Of course, make sure you spell them correctly, unlike Mr. Paul, and try and find the answer for them by doing some research online, because this will help you with what we're doing next week, as you'll be writing a persuasive speech as Queen Boudica. You'll be coming in and taking her role. You'll understand what she is and try and convince people to join her in battle. So it's really important that you know a bit of background information and why she was doing particular things. So, before we get into that, what do we need to remember when we are taking notes? Pause the video again, have a little think to yourself, jot down some notes, and we'll share a few more points in just a moment. Okay, so I've made a few bullet points about what I think is really key to remember when you are taking notes. Try and keep your points short and to the point. Don't write the whole bit of information you find online. Just pick up the key points. A bit like the summary work we did on Monday. Again, that relates to the fact you should only pick out the information that relates to your question. So for instance, if someone was asking a question about why do you wear jackets all the time inside Mr. Bull, and the answer was in Scotland they like eating haggis, that's got no relevance. So make sure you're doing things that relate to the question at hand. Cut some words out. This is the one time that myself or Miss Harbour are going to say, don't worry about the descriptive language. Use that one opportunity. Cut some words out. Go for it. And remember, if it doesn't answer the question that you're asking, then it's not a point worth noting. So when you're going through and conducting your research today, keep this slide printout near you. It will help you when you are conducting your research. So I have provided you with a labyrinth of useful links that you can use today. I really recommend that you use either the videos or the links that are on these slides. I've done a bit of research myself. They are going to be really useful for your own research and will help potentially answer the questions you've already put down, or of course answer any questions you may find when researching it. We're only looking for 3 questions. So it's over to you. Your sheet is attached on the home learning page as per usual. You are going to select 3 questions, and then in this box over here you're going to bullet point information that you find out by looking at the websites that we have offered you here. Okay? Enjoy it. You'll probably find some really interesting things out, and I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing what you've learned this week. Have a lovely weekend, Year 4, and we'll see you next week.